Kohala Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who told me this truth, who I learned from daily. Shalom, Labakariam, Shah, Yasharallah, to the whole four elect out there, wherever you are, pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, while the angels hold back the four winds for now, looking for that last 144,000 man, and all hell break loose. I gotta make this real quick, man. You know, I gotta like less than 10 minutes before my coworker gets out here. They talking about this war. This thing is filtering through the news, you know, for the past 48 hours. You know, now we see that Canada as well as Britain, they're getting involved, you know. And what made me think, you know, about this was France and Germany is supposed to be on board with the invasion of Ukraine. They're supposed to be allies with America to help stop Russia. You know, of course, NATO was supposedly set up to stop the old Soviet Union, which is today Russia. But we know that when you read in Daniel's the second chapter, when you get to the bottom of that statue, the toes were made out of what? Clay and iron, you know. So they're divided. They're weak and they're divided. So NATO is saying we don't want to take part. Part of NATO is saying we don't want to take part with this invasion. And part of NATO, which we know we have Canada and Britain, which is part of NATO, they saying we're willing to take part. Now, Britain is no longer part of the EU, as well as Canada's I think Canada never been a part of the EU, if I'm not mistaken. But I know Britain just had Brexit, so they're no longer part of the EU, but they are part of NATO, which is the force, the military force. Okay, for the 10 heads. So these guys are all over the place, man. This thing is going to be a mess. You know, I'm going to start off with this video, then I'm going to jump into some analysts, what they had to say, then I'm going to read the scripture, and that's going to be it.
Canada, the United States and Britain should jointly and swiftly provide military support to Ukraine in its standoff with Russia, Ukraine's defense minister says, warning that steps to deter Russian President Vladimir Putin from invading were necessary now because it will be too late after. Alexei Reznikov said in an interview that he detected a split within the NATO military alliance over how far to go in supporting Ukraine. Canada, the US, and Britain were more willing to challenge Mr. Putin's aggressive behavior, he said, while countries such as Germany and France were hesitant because they were concerned about maintaining their economic relationships with Russia.
Now, what's happening is probably about 20 years ago, you know, there was a pipeline being built to filter in this energy system from Russia to France as well as Germany. You know, and they made this deal. This was from the heavens, of course, because the US didn't intervene. And now this is coming to bite them in the butt because France as well as Germany, you know, they can't act on the side of America. Not like they really want to anyway, because America just cut them at the knees with this nuclear submarine deal with Australia. That was supposed to be a very lucrative deal for both of them. You know, so this little situation that they got going on is following directly according to prophecy.
Mr. Reznikov, who was appointed defense minister last month by President Volodymyr Zelensky, called on the Anglo-Saxon allies to act outside the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, if necessary, in providing weapons and other support to Ukraine's military. He said Ukraine's land forces were battle-ready, but that the country needed to immediately upgrade its air defense, naval, and electronic warfare capabilities in the face of the threat posed by the Russian military force amassed near Ukraine's borders. Ukraine, he said, needed a quick response from its allies that would help it address a lack of anti-aircraft missiles, modern warplanes and naval craft, as well as electronic jamming equipment. But just as important, he said, would be Canadian, US and British soldiers visibly deployed to positions near the front line. You have a training program with us in Ukraine. I think we can expand it. Instead of having 50 military instructors, send 500 instructors, he said, referring to the 200-soldier Canadian training mission already deployed to the country.
So
Operation Unify.
They bringing out the heavy armor, the big guns. I'm not gonna go through this whole thing here, but we see prophecy coming to pass, and it's moving really fast. It's just another video. It's from the ambulance. Y'all know this guy here, Tucker. The elders had to deal with him. Old school camp tape. He came out. They're gonna have this guy up here. He's gonna make some profound statements. Now we know this is not the the major war that's gonna set off World War III, but we know that this is leading up to it. This is the rumors of war, and rumors of war that we're seeing, and the other nations are taking these brave steps against the whore, at this time. Let me just get a scripture real quick, and we see that these prophecies could spark off the war down there in Israel. It can cause Iran to attack, which America, gotta jump right in. But we know with this being done, we have Elon Musk just came out and said the chip for the brain is ready for 2022 through Neuralink. So we got the prophecies moving. They speeding, and it's amazing how they coincide with each other. They go with each other. It's rolling fast, man. That market, this mark is on the hand, and this is one of the major prophecies that we waiting to see. What are they going to do? How the Most High is going to roll this out. From the top. This is Isaiah 14 verse 4 says that thou shalt take up a proverb against the king of Babylon. This is not ancient Babylon. This is the daughter of Babylon. Okay, great Babylon today, America. And say, how have the oppressors ceased? And the golden city, at one time it was that golden city, but no more. That the people don't even want nothing to do with that damn dollar. So that golden city is done. Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Now I just want to go into that word, the staff, because he was appointed that first leadership, man, that first rulership. We know that king holds that scepter in his hand. You understand? And wherever he pointed, wherever he moved, the whole world is moving. But the Lord has now broken that, man. And it also goes into his council, his leadership, because his staff of men, his think tanks, those groups, the EU, these staff of men, they're no longer flowing on one accord anymore, because time is up, man. The time is up for this devil. Staff, a branch, a tribe, a rod, a branch, a vine, a tribe, a company led by a chief with staff, So, we can see the EU, that company, we can see Esau is totally divided. They're totally divided. You got some people saying we want to go here on the staff. Some people saying we want to go here. They don't know what's going on. The Lord is sprinkling these idiots at the top. And the same thing goes for the scepter, which is a staff, a rod, a branch, right? A club, a mark of authority, a clan, a tribe. So these people that was once in alliance with each other, the Lord has broken that. Bang! Going according to Daniel's the 2nd chapter. So let me just finish this right here. It says, Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth, man. This is his time. This is his time, man, when you read this whole chapter here, man. Babylon is about to get it, man. She's about to get it good, So this is very exciting. Let's see what this devil got to say here.
Where's all this going exactly? What can we expect over the next month or two? Colonel Douglas McGregor has thought a lot about it. He's lived a lot of this stuff. He joins us now to assess. Doug, thanks so much for coming on. Where is this going, do you think?
Well, based upon your monologue, it's hard to tell right now, but certainly the destination is the land of the stupids. What's really disturbing is that this is the eve of the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, an event that dragged us into a two-front war for which we were completely unprepared. And listening to the comments by Wicker and others, it strikes me that Joe Biden has lots of friends on the Hill, all of which are living with him in the early 1990s. They seem to think that Russia is prostrate, that Russia has no alternative but to submit to whatever we tell it to do. which of course is ridiculous. If we challenge Russia on its doorstep, and by doorstep I mean eastern Ukraine, militarily, we will be defeated. That's not an if, that's a certainty. And if we are stupid enough to consider the use of nuclear weapons to rescue our conventional failure, well, then we're courting the destruction of the known world, frankly, and that's something we should avoid. We have really only one interest. You asked the key question, what is our interest in Ukraine or Russia in that area for that matter? We have one interest, Tucker. That is to prevent a war from breaking out between Ukraine and Russia. A bloody war with implications involving refugees and millions of people being displaced from their homes, moving west into Europe. We have an interest in preventing that. We have an interest in preventing a war in that region that could spread rapidly across the Black Sea, involve Turkey, involve Iran. We don't know. So we have an interest in doing that. And we know that if we can prevent it, we have to compromise. And compromise is the way to ensure that Ukrainians, the majority of them who are Ukrainian, will live in a free and independent Ukraine. We're not doing any of those things. We're bent on some sort of revenge mission, which makes no sense, to humiliate and harm Russia. Why is beyond me. This is not the Soviet Union. This is Russia, a Russian state that rests on the foundation of Orthodox Christianity. It's back to what it has been for 1,000 years. We should celebrate that. This is not the Soviet Union. This is Russia, a Russian state that rests on the foundation of Orthodox Christianity. It's back to what it has been for 1,000 years. We should celebrate that.
See, okay, so that bears, man, that you read about in Revelation 13 chapter, man, it's about to get busy, man. The Lord, our Father, Yahweh, Shem, Shah, is not playing, man. You know, this man is weary in all his counsel. I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Shah, Bashem, Rakak, double honor to the elders of the great millstone. Shalom, Labakar, Shah, Yasharal, to the hopeful elect. Shalom.